No. Yeah. Treamis is a 15-year-old school. It was started way back in 2007, and it's founded by a group of educationists, uh, basically from US. And one of them are here in Bangalore, constantly guiding us in this journey, but rest all of them are based out of US. But it's a group of edupreneurs who are interested, who has made basic interest is giving quality education to children. Why I'm telling you this specifically is we are not a school which is backed by corporates or builders or any sort of people who have filthy rich corporate funds to pull in. No, we our passion is different, our objective is different. That's to give quality education to students. So we started in the year 2007, and we are completing 14th year and moving into the next year, academic year. So the current strength of the school is 1,200. I saw that it is 1,000 in the page. We'll have to rectify it. It is 1,200. And we offer 3 curricula. One is CBSE. We are a CBSE school affiliated to the board of CBSE, and we are authorized to offer CBSE from grade 1 to 12. Okay. And in fact, ours is the only international school in Electronic City which offers CBSE curriculum. I'm sure you know, Alan, when you speak to parents, you have Ebenezer, you have Candor, you have Redbridge, but all of them offer, Redbridge offer ICSE. I'm just giving you a comparative analysis as well so that you will be able to, pitch in at the right point. Redbridge offers ICSE along with international curriculum. Ebenezer offers ICSE along with international curriculum. Candor offers only international curriculum, but we are the only international school in this part of Bangalore, that is Electronic City, which offers CBSE from grade 1 to 12. So that should be one point I would request the entire team to pitch when or to discuss when you start talking to parents who are looking for a CBSE schools in Electronic City. And that makes your life much more easier as well, because there is no other competitor belonging to the same range, okay, or the same category. And so CBSE in high school, so grade 1 to 10, and many other schools in this area, they have only 1 to 10, but we also have our 11th and 12th in CBSE, and we offer all the 3 streams: science, commerce, and humanities. If you look at a couple of other schools in and around, they give mostly science, emphasize to science, because they are, producing engineers and doctors. But here we do emphasize on equally on commerce and humanity specialization as well. And in fact, for a change, my students or my alumni from CBSE 11 and 12, I have if you ask me where they are placed, I have an equal mix. 50% of them, they are well placed in India, but 50% of them are doing their undergrad or postgrad in universities abroad with scholarships. Why I'm telling you this point is generally people put their children in CBSE thinking that, yeah, this is for to help them to write the entrance examinations or to get into some universities in India. No, we prepare our children even beyond that. And the international culture and the ambience in our school really helps them to think beyond what is given by the CBSE. So it's a beautiful 15-acre campus with all the international amenities, okay, international facilities. So our children get a lot of opportunities that way to work on their communication skills, their interpersonal skills. And I honestly believe, since you are in a profession where you are convincing others, you know the importance of convincing, right?
Yes.
So how much ever educated we are, or it's a convincing skill that really matters. So we put a lot of emphasis on our CBSE children, irrespective of whether the CBSE board allows that or not. We take time out of our schedule to prepare them to develop the 21st century skills. And that is honestly, the interpersonal skills, the presentation skills, the communication skills, and along with the technology skills. So if you look at my previous batch, though the examinations didn't happen for CBSE 12th grade, my strength of last CBSE batch was 60. There were 60 students who passed out in the academic year 2021. And out of them, 20 of them are placed abroad. They've got offers from universities and with scholarships from reputed universities like University of Purdue, University of San Diego, and they're all placed there. Some of them have traveled, some of them are still waiting for their visa appointments because US visa appointment is a little chaotic these days. And another point is that we do give them, train them with their career aspirations right from their grade 8. The moment children move to high school, from grade 8, we start working with them, identifying their interests and basically, doing a SWOT analysis. What are their strengths? What are their weaknesses? What are their areas of improvement? And then we also help them with their subject choice as and when they move ahead. So 8th and 9th is basically a kind of, giving them an introduction about the kind of subjects and the kind of opportunities which are waiting outside for them. And then 10th would be mostly a focus on the board examinations, but in 11th we can help them with career choices, right? So children who have an inclination with designing, we push them into the art stream. And our children are well placed in universities like University of Nottingham, fashion design institutes and places in, I mean, Devani can send you all those information later on. And children who are inclined to take up science, we push them into the science stream. So there we play a lot of, the teachers and the school takes a lot of time to explain to parents and children to take the right subject combination so that their 11th and 12th would be fruitful. And once they move out of the school, they'll get into the right university. So this is about my CBSE program in nutshell. And another thing, any CBSE school you take it, their class strength would be minimum 35. Let it be an international school or any other school, it would be minimum 35. At Treamis, it never crossed beyond 20. 20 is the maximum class strength in any class. So, for example, in Electronic City, Christ offers CBSE, DPS offers CBSE, but the class strength is not less than 40. But here, even during pandemic, what other schools have done is, they have combined a couple of classes and join because it's online, right? So there is no point in, deploying resources, and everybody is trying to cut down their costs. So what we have done is we are still maintaining 20 because children are at the center of every decision. So that is also one more point which I would request you to emphasize when you talk to parents. The only CBSE school where the class strength is, because what happens is international school curriculum, we can charge a higher fee. But the CBSE, we cannot charge that much fee, right? So schools generally try and, accommodate that by, increasing the class strength. But we have not done that. Our class strength will not go above 20. That's how it is.
Ms. Matthew, and in fact, everyone, we represent so many schools, but there are very, very few schools, which maintains a student-teacher ratio, or which have the class strength of 20 for an Indian curriculum.
Right.
So that's a very, very strong point. Yeah.
And then again, if many parents would like to connect with parents, I don't know whether you have a platform where you can connect with an existing parents, because they like to take feedback from the existing parents, right? No school will say that my school is bad or my curriculum needs improvement. So in case if any of the parents, for example, if Alan is counseling a parent and if they say that I would like to talk to one particular parent of Treamis, or whose child has just passed out of 12th and then doing his university, please feel free to connect with us. We would be more, I don't know whether your system allows you to do that. Tuhin will have to look into it, but in case if they need a little more of a reference kind of thing, we'll be more than happy to give that as well, because that adds a lot of credibility to the process, right?
Yes, and in fact, we have seen a lot of such parent requests coming in, and most of the schools shy away from doing this.
I don't have that fear.
Yeah.
I can give you any number, any class. And I honestly believe that parents should be convinced before they join the school. This is not a one-day affair, right? Where, you buy a product and then the next day, if you don't like it, you discard it or you return it. It's not like that. So the whole ideology is different. So any point of time, if anybody says that, I would like to talk to a particular parent, or can you share an email ID? We have our parents who are more than happy to share their experience. So only if they think that the school suits their requirements, I would want them to join us. So that is also one more help we can, or extend to you team. So that's about CBSE in a nutshell. So if you have any questions about the CBSE at Treamis, you can ask me. And one more thing, in the timetable, okay, in the regular school timetable, my CBSE, irrespective of whether children have opted for a CBSE program or an international program, there are 7 activities which are compulsory for my students from grade 1 to 7. So those activities are, one is music, okay, one is dance, sports, okay, especially because of this online scenario, sports is not possible, right? So I'll explain you how we have tackled that situation as well. Whatever 7 activities which I'm mentioning is right now is applicable in a on-campus schooling situation. So we have music, we have dance, we have sports. When I say sports, we have a half Olympic size swimming pool, which is again the best in Bangalore. Okay. Don't think that ma'am is exaggerating. No, I'm not exaggerating. You can also do your own research. It's a half Olympic size pool, which is the best in Bangalore, especially this side of Bangalore. Okay. And then I have a beautiful 4 acres ground for my higher grade children. I have an under 8 football ground for my smaller ones. Then I have a badminton court. Then we do have 2 basketball courts. One is a synthetic one and one is a normal one. So all the sports facilities which any school should have, we also have. I'm not saying blowing my, we have everything in place. That's it. Then we have robotics. Okay, robotics is something which children really, really enjoy when they are on campus. And we have yoga. So like that, we have 7 activities in place when school was running on campus. Now what happens in online scenario, we cannot give them football or we cannot teach them basketball, right? So what we have done is we have replaced those with 3 other programs. So they have, you can write down if you have a notepad. We have the theater program, okay, which is known as the Treamis theater program. So it's a compulsory period for every child from grade 1 to 8. And the next program we have is Treamis Advantage program. I'll send you a detailed PPT if you want, but this is just for you to have an idea about it. The second program is known as Treamis Advantage program, which is about aptitude. What happens is, in a classroom environment, a teacher may not be, especially in an online setting, what happens is a teacher may not be able to personally assist all the kids in their calculation skills or their general mental ability or the aptitude skills, right? So there are tips and tricks to solve the questions quickly when it comes to a competitive examination. And exams like Olympiads, which are time bound. You start at this time, you have to stop at this time. So children need to practice time management and they need to get hold of the tips and tricks. So we have started a program for aptitude training right from grade 1 to all the classes. And the third program is model Tremission. It's about soft skills and public speaking. Got it. So one is the theater program. The second one is the aptitude program. The third one is the public speaking, the soft skills. Generally, it's not only public speaking, it's about the etiquettes. It can be online etiquettes, it can be in the classroom etiquettes, how to groom yourself, how to present yourself, how to talk, how to prepare a presentation. All those things would be covered in that program. Along with this 3 program, we have our regular art classes, dance classes, fitness classes, mandatory for everybody. In this particular time, nobody will be able to, move out of their, or parents will not allow children to move out of their houses, right? So fitness. So this is mandatory. And this comes as regular, periods in your timetable. So imagine today the first period is math, then the next period would be fitness, then the next period would be science, and the next period can be music. So like that, it comes in the timetable and children are assessed every term. Now, the idea is not to make them masters in music, dance, fitness, or anything of that sort, but to keep them happy, keeping their well-being in mind, and they are productively engaged throughout it. So I don't think there is any other CBSE school who would be investing their time in doing all these activities. Because trust me, to roll out these extra programs, we have hired people from outside and we are doing it. And this is an extra thing we are giving to parents and children to keep them happy, to keep them. And the theater program is really amazing. It's like a venting out program for children, where they just go and express all their emotions. So this is one more add-on or selling point about the CBSE program in Treamis. So if you have any questions, I'm happy to take it. You get a lot of questions from parents, right? So if you have any questions, I'll take it. Otherwise, we'll move to the international program.
Anyone has any query? No. So, Ms. Jyotis, just for everyone's understanding, do we offer competitive coaching for Indian examinations?
Yes,
that's
a very good question. For 11th and 12th graders, we have an association with the Delhi-based Vidya Mandir group. I think, Anamika is from Gurgaon, right? And Tuhin is also from Delhi, I think. Vidya Mandir is very popular.
Yes, it is.
Very, very popular in northern part of India. So we have a tie-up with them, and our children who are interested in taking up the entrance coaching examinations, they are Vidya Mandir is taking care of them. It's an integrated coaching facility which is going on. So what happens is 8:30 to 2 o'clock, we have our regular CBSE sessions going on, and post lunch, it would be dedicated for Vidya Mandir coaching. Yeah, that's how it is. So that is there. So there are parents who usually ask whether the school is having any tie-up with entrance coaching. So yes, we do have. Officially, we are not supposed to say that. CBSE doesn't allow us to do that. So we call it under different names, but we do have that facility. And our children are placed in good medical colleges as well. But honestly speaking, that kind of crowd is very less in my school. Even if they come with an intention to become a doctor or an engineer, after going through a lot of career counseling sessions, and when there will be a lot of university visits happening throughout the year. This university visits is a mandatory, item for the international curriculum. But being in this Treamis, environment gives the CBSE children an advantage to be a part of all these international webinars and career counseling and university visits, and their idea changes. So somebody coming here with an idea of becoming a doctor, sometimes I have seen children taking up sports management in universities in New Zealand, all those things. So it depends. But yeah, we do offer.
So Ms. Matthew, how's the arrangement? Do we have different blocks offering international and CBSE curriculum?
Yes. So I'll talk about my campus. It's a 15-acre campus. It's located in Electronic City. And we have two separate blocks. So one takes care of the international curriculum and one is for CBSE. And we have separate resources also for CBSE and international curriculum. There are no resources. I mean, all the playgrounds and common amenities are shared, but I'm talking about the teaching resources. We have separate teachers for CBSE and separate teachers for international curriculum. Definitely, you can't have the same set of teachers teaching CBSE.
Yeah.
So it's one campus, and in one campus we have two schools, I would say. One is Treamis International School, which runs the international curriculum, and the other one is Treamis World School, which runs the CBSE curriculum. So it's being organized as two different entities.
Sure. So, and now if you can explain the, about the international curriculum.
Right. So now moving to the international curriculum, we have, all of you know about IB program, right? So we have our IB program from our nursery till grade 5. That is the primary year program. Okay. We are an authorized IB school offering IBTP program, IB PYP program since last 5 years. Okay. When we started, it wasn't there. We worked on it and we got the authorization 5 years ago. So we have completed 5 successful years in PYP, and my school's my primary strength would be approximately 400 plus from the nursery till grade 5. That is being taken care by separately by, there is a position, there's a person in charge of this department, and her designation is Dean of IB program. So she is taking care of this particular department. So nursery to grade 5, we have IB, PYP. So ideally what I'm trying to tell you is, we have both the options. If you want the national curriculum, you have CBSE. If you want the international curriculum, we have IB. Now, that's from 1 to nursery to 5. Grade 6 to 12. At this point of time, we have Cambridge curriculum, IGCSE. Got it. 6 to 12, we have IGCSE. That's Cambridge curriculum. And it is one of the most established programs in Treamis. And back to back, we have created country toppers and global toppers. And as I told you before, since this is a very small school, and since the vision is different, or the objective is different, we do not go around with hoardings, or we do not get paid publicity. So the school has organically grown through existing parent referrals over the years. So even in the last academic year, when the learning was completely online also, we had global topper. When I say global topper, you should understand that Cambridge runs programs in 160 countries. CBSE is only in India, right? And probably in a couple of Middle East countries, that's it. But Cambridge runs this program in more than 160 countries. And out of children who wrote exam from 160 countries, I have children from my school who has topped globally. And those children have, so that's what I'm trying to tell you. If parents want to talk to that particular parent, I can directly give you the contact. You can guide them to that particular parent as well. And the children have joined universities abroad. So Cambridge program is a program which is well established, and Treamis is well known for its Cambridge program in Bangalore. Okay, so I hope I made it clear. Until grade 5, we have IB, and 6 to 12, we have IGCSE. That's Cambridge program.
So Miss Jyotis, how, because not many schools, they use PYPA. It's a difficult curriculum to administer. It's
Right.
relatively newer. What they do is they create some curriculum of their own, and then it's a proprietary curriculum, and then it's MYP or a Cambridge. How easy is the transition from PYP to Cambridge? Because the
In fact,
pedagogy is different.
Yeah, transition from PYP to any curriculum would be easy if the PYP program is run as per the way IB has mandated us to run the program. As you said rightly, there are so many schools who run CBSE in a PYP way. Got it.
Yeah.
So that if that is the case, transition would become very difficult. So if we are strictly following the IB, I think I would say IB is the future of education. I mean, all of you team members know, if you want to get a little, it will definitely help you in counseling parents. If you can go through the IBO website, there is a website for IB, right? Just go through it. It has all the information. So the whole aim of IB is to create lifelong learners and lifelong learners. So my children here, they are usually trained to ask questions. You, as a teacher, you cannot go to that class without preparing for a session. You bring a small topic, they'll come out with 100 questions, because IB trains children to work on their inquisitiveness. So every theme that we teach them, they'll come out with a lot of questions. And then no teacher can go to a class thinking that I have a textbook. See, the difference is CBSE has a textbook. It comes handy for a teacher, right? You can just look at the textbook and give some examples. IB, there is no textbook. Yeah. Absolutely no reference. So what happens is, whatever resources a teacher has, even the student has access to. So sometimes the kind of questions children will raise, you will have to go and do a lot of research and come back and give answers. So it's a learning process which happens together. It's a lifelong learning process. More than that, IB focuses on training children as excellent communicators, which is the need of the century. They want children to be very, very caring. So the curriculum itself is designed in such a way that, children have to, for example, my grade 4 children, what they are doing right now. They have to identify a particular topic or a theme where, around their house or in their community. So they have to identify that issue. Then they have to come out with a solution, and then they have to implement that particular solution that they have found that problem. So it can be a small thing like, there is a dog right outside your door which is in distress right outside your community, and then the child going and trying and helping it with the food or the kind of medicine, or helping to adopt that pet. You can spread a word in your community, right? There is a dog which needs help, and it's me. So small things. So IB actually trains children to become very, very empathetic, very empathetic. And it's not taught through books, it's taught through actions, it is taught through projects. Children themselves will have to identify, they themselves will have to find the solution, they themselves will have to implement it, right? So and then IB in fact make them critical thinkers. You give them a topic, you have to think critically and come out with what are the aspects related to it. For example, just to make you understand the difference between CBSE and IB, I think most of us, including me, everybody would have studied in either a CBSE school or a state curriculum, right? That's my understanding. I studied in a normal state school. Okay. How I learned festivals is there were like 5 or 6 festivals in my textbook. Okay. One is Christmas, one is Bihu in some part of, then one is Navratri, 9 days festival. Like that, I remember like 5 or 6 festivals and one very, very vague picture of that. IB, what happens is the teacher goes to the classroom and then she starts what are the kind of festivals that you celebrate in your home. So, or, how many festivals do you celebrate in a year? Or what are the kind of food that you prepare when you celebrate a festival? Now you look at the screen, how many of us are there? Around 10 or 12 people are there, right? So in a class, there are 20, right? So 20 children will talk about 20 different festivals, 20 different food items they make at home, 20 different artifacts. When it is Christmas, what are the kind of, decorations that we do, or what are the kind of gifts that we give? And then there would be international kids in the class. They would talk about celebrations that happens there, in whichever country they belong to. So what happens is the role of a teacher is just to become a facilitator. She listens to all the 20 kids, she summarizes everything, she adds some value to it and sums it up. So the takeaway is that instead of learning that 5 to 6 festivals in the CBSE textbook, here the child's learning is amazing. And the teacher also will end the class by telling them, just go back today and have a reflection, talk to your parents, talk to your grandparents, what were the kind of festivals that they celebrated when they were young, and how has it evolved over a period of time. Got it. So the learning here in IB is amazing. Okay. And it can no way be compared with the CBSE or any other curriculum. So coming back to Tuhin's question, so transition from PYP to any curriculum. Imagine it, you are going to a country abroad. Not all countries have IB or IGCSE.
Yeah.
Or imagine you are going to back to your village due to some reason. There is a state school. Learning, the transition wouldn't be difficult at all. The only problem that comes is with the language options. Got it? Like, yeah. When you're going back to a CBSE school, they have second language, third language options, which is not a mandatory thing in IB. But in Treamis, we teach them. We have made second and third language also, thinking about this transition. In case at any point of time, if they have to go and join any other school or any other curriculum, child should not find it difficult. So we teach them second language and third language. So language can be a problem when they move back to other places, but otherwise it won't be a problem at all. Children will find it interesting.
And is offering DP on the cards, Ms. Matthew?
Yes. Now we have started with the authorization process for IBDP. See, the plan is to slowly make it an IB continuum school. So yeah, I hope everybody knows IBDP is equivalent to our 11th and 12th. So we have started the authorization process, and we are almost nearing the completion of the process. Next academic year, 22-23, we will be offering IBDP as well.
Wonderful.
So if you ask me, it's a school which gives all the curriculum. Other than we have CBSE from grade 1 to 12, Now we have PYP program, we have Cambridge from 6 to 12, and we are going to retain it. We are not going to, scrap the program. We will continue with our Cambridge program. And then we are also starting the IBDP program from 22-23.
Yeah, so both the curriculums, they offer very, very distinct advantages over
Correct.
each other. Yeah. So
Right.
now some reflection, we also have, couple of my colleagues, they represent, boarding parents. They speak with
Right.
boarders. So now you'll have to give some understanding about the boarding, how a day of a boarder looks like, what are the hostel facilities, etc. What is the
Right.
kind of food that we serve?
Yeah. So we are a residential school as well. We are a day-come residential school. Okay. So out of the total strength, our residential facility can accommodate 110 children. That's the maximum we can accommodate. Beyond that, our facility can't. That's it.
Yeah.
So till the end of 1920, we had 100 plus students staying in our residential facility. Out of that, 40% were international students. When I say international students, majority were from Southeast Asian countries, Thailand, Malaysia, and then a certain amount from Maldives, and then a couple of them from Africa. And at some point we had children from South Korea, but right now we don't have. I mean, slowly they have started going back to their country because there are so many international schools there. But yeah, still the international crowd would be mostly Thailand kids. If you ask me from which part of Southeast Asia, then it is Thailand, then Africa, Middle East. Middle East crowd is mostly NRIs. Okay, the Indians who have gone there and working there, they would send their children back to India for our education. And then rest of the children, we had children representing each and every state of the country, and majority from the northeastern part of India. Now, a typical day of a boarder would be like this. Morning, it's a little relaxed schedule in our campus. It's not like a military school, or it's not like a typical boarding school. So they can get up by around 6 o'clock, 6 a.m. in the morning. Then they'll fresh up. They have their freshening time. And then right after that, we have a huge ground, and we have our sports teachers staying on campus with them in the residential facility. So along with the sports teachers, they'll move to the high grounds for the morning drill practice. So it's not mandatory that everybody have to jog or everybody have to swim. It depends on each and every child. If somebody wants to hit the gym, they can do that. If somebody wants to utilize the time for swimming, they can do that. If somebody wants to play basketball, they can do that. But that 1 hour of time should be utilized productively to maintain their fitness. That's why I said it's a little relaxed schedule. It's not like everybody have to go and march, nothing of that sort. So 6:30 to 7:30, they are in the grounds. Then they come back to the hostel, they freshen up, and then they straight away they go to the cafeteria. They have their breakfast and they move to the school. So everything is in one encompassed in one campus, right? So the school and the hostel is like 25 meters distance. That's how it is there. So they come to the campus, they attend the classes, lunch break, and while during recess breaks, they go back to the cafeteria. The other children would bring food from home, but these kids would go back to the cafeteria. Everything would be served hot for them. And they'll have their mid-morning snacks there. They'll come back to school. So it's all nearby. And then lunch also. 1 second, give me. Sorry. Yeah. And then lunch break, again, they'll go to the cafeteria, and food is a mix of Indian and continental, because we have 40% of international kids. You can't serve them with the Indian food, right? So it's a spread. So the menu is shared well in advance with the children and parents, and then it's a huge spread. I can share the copy of the menu also with you. So whatever, but of course we try and motivate them to have the Indian flavor as well. Mostly the Thai kids, they never like to taste our kind of food, but yeah, over a period of time they settle now. And just to make them comfortable, these children from Thailand and Southeast Asian countries, they have their local guardians here staying in Bangalore. So we usually bring them here and make some special food for them, and our chefs will cook, but under the guidance of those people, so that these kids would get to taste their homely food as well. So that happens once in a week when they were here. Weekends they will come, and that's the best thing which we could do for them.
Yes.
Right. And then after, so till 3:30 their schedule goes like that. 3:30 they get back to hostel. They have like 1 hour of free time. Okay, 3:30 to 4:30 they usually, that's their own time. Then 4:30 again they go back to the grounds with their sports teachers. And there are some children with health issues and all. We usually allow them to stay back, but again that depends on the situation. Then after playing they get back to hostel, then starts their study time. If you ask me, the study time from 6:30 to 8:30 is the compulsory thing for everybody. That time should be utilized for studies, and that would be done under the supervision of the house parents. There are teachers staying on campus, and we have allotted 5 kids to 1 teacher. So 1 teacher is in charge of 5 students. And there were some students who needed extra help as well. So what we do is we usually ask our school teachers to stay back and help them. So our school teachers are more than happy to do that, and they stay back and help these kids in study. So these 2 hours is a compulsory study time which they have in a day. Beyond that, if they want to study, they are free to stay back till 1 o'clock at night. No problem. They can get up before 6 o'clock and study. That's fine. But these 2 hours is mandatory. After lunch, again, they'll have their dinner. After dinner, they have 1 hour of recreation time. They can watch TV and that's it, again their own time, me time. And then ideally, as per the schedule, they should hit the sack or they should go to bed by around 10. That's how their schedule is. But the higher grade children, board class children, sometimes they stay back with permission, and they do it. That's how the typical schedule is. And then monthly once we take them out. I'm talking about a normal scenario when COVID was not there, okay? So we take them out, usually to some resorts. Sometimes they want to go to malls, but yeah. So depends on, so we have already rolled out a plan for the entire year. So as per the plan, we take them out monthly once a year. And we have weekly boarders as well, wherein children come on Monday morning and then they can leave on Friday evening. So the tendency which I see is that initially these kids have a lot of difficulty to move to a hostel. So they say, no, I'll go for a weekly boarder. Once they come to the hostel and they start making friends and they like this weekly outings and all this, so gradually they'll become a full boarder. So that facility is also there. And our boarding facility starts from grade 5 and above. We are still not open for the tiny ones above grade 5 and above.
So how many students do share a room? Is it a dormitory or a small?
It's not, we don't have dormitories. We have a room system in place, and it's a huge room. Each room has 4 beds.
Okay.
Beds with attached cupboards and attached a washroom. Not attached washrooms, like 4 rooms will have a common washroom. That's how it is.
Okay.
4 rooms means 16 kids would be there. You got it. Each room will have 4 kids. So 16 kids would have a common washroom. And then they have hot water facility. All those facilities are in place. I don't need to explain, right? I'm sure you know all those things. Then I have a nurse staying in house. She's also here in the meeting. Okay, so she stays in house with them. She's with us for the last 6 years. So what happens is these, when I explain the schedule, their playtime is more. Did you notice? Morning also they have time, playtime, evening also they have. Something or the other will happen. They'll fall down, they'll break their legs, or they'll have stomach. So she is the one always on duty. So she stays with them. She's more like a mentor for them. Yeah. And then we have tie-ups with hospitals. We are located in a place where we have Narayana hospitals, NH very close by. So we have a tie-up with them. So anything emergency, quickly we take them there. So that's a kind of advantage we have for being in a place.
Like and Ms. Matthew, one question what the parents frequently ask: what's the best sport? Which sport do you think wherein you train the children best?
Right. So for me, in Treamis, it is football and swimming.
Okay.
Okay, we have cricket nets and all other things, but I wouldn't say we are, that much into cricket. But my football team is very, very popular here. I mean, under 8, under 10, under 12, under 16, all are very, very popular among the school community. And my swimming team is also good since we have that kind of amenities to support. So we have a female swimming tutor and a male swimming tutor, and it's compulsory also till grade 7, irrespective of whether you like it, whether you're scared of water, whatever, you have to go for swimming.
That's a
And
nice thing.
yeah, and grade 7 and above, what happens is they get into the teenage and they have their own choices, right? So then we can't force them, but till 7 it's mandatory for them. So I would say swimming and football. That's something which is our USP.
So boarding team, any specific queries that you might have?
You can ask me any question, okay? I mean, otherwise I would think that I've answered all the questions.
No, so actually,
And I want to ask you one question. Why should I choose Treamis, Alan? You tell me, Alan. You've been counseling, so why should I choose Treamis? I know you have to be diplomatic, right? Yeah. I don't want you to do any special canvassing for us, but I know if you can actually pitch in whatever I said, right? I mean, whatever you think, and then it's a very close knit community. And as I said, no, that since the objective is very clear. Just to give you another example, my preschool, okay. Can you imagine what is the strength in each class?
12.
Just a guesswork. What would be the strength in my? I mean, not in a normal on-campus scenario. Right now, in online scenario, what would be my preschool strength?
8.
Tuhin said 12.
Who said 12?
Tuhin.
Yeah. So my nursery is 5 in a class. Okay, just five in a class. Then you would ask me, how will it work out for you, ma'am? Okay, because it's but yeah. And my LKG and UKG, it is 10 in a class. When we were running on campus, it was 20 in a class. But right now we understood that 20 will not work. If I want to run it for the sake of running it, I can club 2 sections also and make it 40. And then I can cut down one teacher. But that won't work. If I have to give my children what they deserve, and if my parents have to have the confidence in me, I have to keep. So what we did is we divided them into small batches, and my nursery is having 5, and like that I have 10 batches. Okay, so small. And then my LKG and UKG is having 10 each in each class, and 1 and above it is 20 in each class, nothing more than that. That's the strength. So whatever little things, if you remember, if you can pitch in, that would be great.
No, I think since this is recorded and they can refer to this discussion at any point of time.
Right.
Alan, do you have that understanding, Alan, Meghna, that what's the catchment area in terms of the day students, or would you want a list from Ms. Devyani to be shared? Bhagya?
And another question, probably, I don't know whether I get this question. See, I started my career as an admissions person, okay? So I was sharing with Mr. Tuhin the other day. I started my career as admissions person, and then I grew up slowly. I reached this wherever I'm in, which is a hot seat. Okay, but so I can understand what you would be going through. So one question which I used to get is, I have heard that in international schools there would be a lot of faculty attrition. Teachers keep changing. Do you get such questions?
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
So I'll tell you what answer I tell them. I was always very upfront with them. I said there is no magic that or there is no written bond that we can get from the teachers that they'll serve us for 2 years or 3 years or 4 years. Maybe technically you can get all these things done, but teaching is also a career which is more or less similar to any other thing, right? If as an IT person in the middle of the year you get an assignment in US, you will move out, right? So it's very unfair for parents to expect that a teacher should not move out in the middle of the academic year. From a school's perspective, we try and do everything to make sure that they don't move. But at the end, in the middle of the year, if there is an emergency or if there is a husband moving out of Bangalore, then obviously she's bound to follow her husband, right? So this is a problem with every school, but there are ways and means by which we can minimize it. So what I have done is, I always see them one-on-one and I tell them that I need a 1-year commitment from them. In case if you're moving in the middle of the academic year, your husband is moving, I'll make sure that I'll give you accommodation on campus for the rest 6 months. Complete my year and go. Okay, and that has worked. Trust me, that has worked. Don't come and tell me that my husband is moving. I have no other way. Nothing. So I have a conversation with them well in advance and set the expectations right. You can go, but there are cases where we cannot help. Also, I mean, see, day before yesterday, one of my faculty member lost 3 members to COVID. 3 members. Yeah. What do we do? Can I ask him to teach? Can I ask him to continue? So there are scenarios like that as well. So I always give them a very realistic answer that, um, we try and do, minimize. And if you ask me, this year I had only like 3% of attrition, 3% this year, and that too in a year of pandemic like this. So that is one question which I used to get. So any other? Meghna is also operating from Bangalore.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yeah. And Mr. Tuhin, I would also, I don't know whether it will work. If their time and if their schedule allows, at least allow them to visit campuses once.
Ms. Jyotis, we'll do that. As the situation stabilizes, in terms of the COVID, right now we are operating out of home. In fact, we want our counselor to see. We cannot send them to see every school across the country, but in case if they get to see, 10, 12.
For example, if I don't know, that's why I'm again telling, if your system, if your process allows it, okay. I mean, I may not understand what your.
No, we do send our counselors on, on campus visits. Because it gives them a first-hand experience of the entire campus. So if not all, couple of them will come to you. Will come to the campus.
You can even walk in as a parent, okay, and you can check whatever I said, is matching with whatever we are offering. No, that should also be done, right?
Yeah.
Right. So that would be really great if you could do that. If any one of you are based out of Bangalore can visit, that would be really nice. That would give you a first-hand experience, right?
Yes.
And to talk with more conviction.
Yes.
Right.
We'll do that, ma'am. We'll be
right. Thank you, Tuhin. I mean, if it works for you, okay. There is no.
Thank you. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. I think that helps us any which ways, because it's they who speak to the parents first hand. Then it helps. Yes.
Right.
So Ms. Devyani, just update your information in your page.
I'll do that. Even order schedule also I will share with you.
Yes, and the catchment area for the day scholar. If you have a bus route or maybe an important localities from where you get your students from, that would help. And in case if you have a school tour video, upload that also. No, you don't have to share that with me. You upload it on your register page so that it's visible to the parents.
Sure.
Yeah.
Correct. Right. So if you don't have any questions, I think, we can call it a day. In fact, I had a long conversation with Mr. Tuhin, and that's when I understood we can do a lot together. So thanks for bringing your team together. It's nice to see all of you. It's nice to see 2 of them. They have spoken to me over the phone. One, I remember Alan. The next person, I don't remember the name, but whoever it was a very pleasant conversation. I mean, whoever spoke to me other than Alan, it was so you've trained your team also very well, right? So good job, team.
Thank you so very much.
Yeah, and EduStock is in fact has created a mark. In fact, somebody was on campus yesterday. They are also into not exactly like what you are into, in a different manner. So they came like a PR visit. That's why I thought, even your team should be, so they were mentioning me about EduStock, and so people are talking about you. You're the talk of the town. So build on that.
Thank you so very much. We are just trying to learn things, because there was no precedence of what we are doing. So, all of us, we are learning together. In fact, it's the team, who's making us learn.
Right.
Because they are the ones who are speaking with the parents.
Any help, any point of time, I mean, other than Treamis also, you can reach out to me. I mean, always happy to help.
Thank you so very much. Thank you.
Right.
Thanks.
And Rajesh, learn Malayalam. Next time I should, I want to talk to you in Malayalam. Right. Okay, team. Nice meeting
Right.
all of you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you,
Okay,
Mr.
madam.
Proheen. And
Thank you so
everybody.
much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.